Dear friends, welcome to a new chapter of Strategic Power. In today's video, we are going to talk about a serious warning given by nuclear control authorities. Iran has the capacity to manufacture enough nuclear material to make 6 nuclear bombs in just 1 month. On February 5th, Mohammad Eslam, leader of Iran's Atomic Energy Agency, the Iranian government body in charge of developing and building nuclear reactors and research centers, an institution which, according to several sources, is primarily responsible for Iran's secret military nuclear program, announced that Iran has started construction on a 4th nuclear research reactor in the city of Isfahan. Isfahan already houses one of Iran's main nuclear research centers, with 3 operating reactors. According to Iranian state media, this 10-megawatt reactor will be used for experiments and to produce radioisotopes and radioactive derivatives for the medical and pharmaceutical industry. The announcement of the construction of the 4th nuclear reactor in Isfahan came just days after Mohammad Eslam announced the construction of another reactor, this time in the south of the country, in the city of Sirik. This will be a gigantic 5,000-megawatt reactor. Although Iran vehemently claims it has no intention of developing nuclear weapons, all the nuclear facilities the country currently operates, and especially the restrictions imposed on the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect those facilities, strengthen the idea that the Iranians do have the goal of producing nuclear weapons and becoming the 2nd nuclear power in the Middle East, right after Israel. As I have mentioned in other videos here on the channel, the biggest challenge to produce nuclear weapons is having enough purity and quantity of nuclear fuel, which needs to be enriched to a maximum of 5% for use in nuclear power plants. However, to manufacture nuclear bombs, the enrichment level needs to exceed 85%. Reaching that level requires complex, large-scale uranium enrichment facilities, in addition to nuclear reactors for the production of crucial elements, like plutonium. Therefore, if a country really wants to acquire nuclear weapons, it needs 2 main types of facilities: large uranium enrichment plants and huge nuclear reactors, exactly the kind of structures Iran has been building for years. These constructions, as I have shown here, have accelerated considerably in recent years and months. The Iranian government itself recently confirmed that it has 60% enriched uranium stockpiled, suggesting that, theoretically, it is capable of enriching uranium past 85 or 90%. According to the recent report from the Institute for Science and International Security, using data from the International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran, by using its known uranium enrichment facilities and just a fraction of its 60% enriched uranium stock, can theoretically enrich uranium to 85% in just 1 week, enough to build 1 atomic bomb. If the entire stock of 60% enriched uranium is used, Iran would be able to have material to manufacture up to 6 nuclear bombs in 1 month. In addition, the report points out that if Iranian enrichment facilities operate at full capacity for 5 or 6 months, Iran will have enough material to produce over 12 nuclear bombs. Despite denials from the Iranian government, this has been the country's main objective since at least 2018, when the then President of the United States, Donald Trump, withdrew from the 2015 nuclear agreement signed with Iran. Under that agreement, Iran agreed to always keep uranium enrichment levels below 4%, ensuring its use would be limited to civil nuclear facilities. However, Trump, arguing that Iran was violating the agreement, decided the US would withdraw, leading Iran to accelerate enrichment methods, development and build even more centrifuges. To cover up these activities, the Iranians create significant obstacles and delays in inspecting their facilities. When they finally allow inspectors in, they block entire areas, granting access only to specific sectors. For years, Israel has accused Iran of developing nuclear weapons and has actively worked to, at a minimum, delay that progress, as in the case of the November 27, 2020 attack that resulted in the death of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, at the time considered the top official responsible for Iran's covert military nuclear program. Despite international sanctions and sporadic attacks by Israel, Iran's nuclear program continues to advance unchecked. If Iran manages to develop nuclear weapons, this will completely change its position and influence in the Middle East. As I have mentioned in other videos here on the channel, Iran is the world's biggest financier of terrorist groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas and Islamic Jihad in the Gaza Strip, the Houthis in Yemen, and several pro-Iranian groups operating mainly in Syria and Iraq. They use those groups to indirectly attack its 3 biggest adversaries, the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. To avoid direct retaliation, Iran is very careful not to leave traces in its attacks, and also takes care not to cross certain red lines that could lead those countries to retaliate by directly attacking Iranian territory. However, once Iran possesses nuclear weapons in its arsenal, they will feel much more empowered to confront their adversaries. They know that if Iran is directly attacked, Tehran can retaliate with nuclear weapons. This means that the mere fact of Iran having nuclear weapons at its disposal will drastically increase the level of terrorist attacks in the Middle East. This is because the world will perceive that a direct attack on Iran could trigger a nuclear war in the region, with the potential to quickly spread across the planet. That is why Iran is so desperate to acquire nuclear weapons. Is the international community willing to allow Iran to become a nuclear power capable of manufacturing several atomic bombs per month? Or is it time to further tighten sanctions and even consider military action to stop Iran's dangerous nuclear program?